The whole Chinese situation, I think, is fascinating. We see how big and strong and powerful they are, but as brands, they're relatively unknown outside of China. But I think what's going to happen is they are going to take their branding seriously, but it's going to be very patient and take their time about it. An analogy I use is the way John Lewis in the UK had always felt they didn't need to do communications, and gradually in a competitive market have realised they did need to, and have very slowly introduced a very successful communications programme. I think that analogy also applies to the Chinese, where they're going to start to think gradually and softly about introducing their brands to the market. But this might be over something like a 10-year period.
I would say banks are focused on affluent consumers because all the increased regulation has made it hard to charge the fees or interest rates that let them make money with more mass market consumers. So now every institution is trying to redo their product set and redo their marketing to really get the affluent consumer to believe that's the best choice for them.
We've been talking about possible threats to financial categories, and I think one of the really interesting things is that that'll come from a number of different places. So some of it will come from new kinds of competitors, new kinds of categories, or people moving into kind of payment spaces or banking spaces, or and that could be from completely different industries or from peer to peer.
Consumers now have to rethink their American dream. So basically in the last 12 months we've seen them lose a lot of money in their pensions and their 401k, foreclosing on their homes, losing a lot of interest on their bank accounts, and going bankrupt. So they really have to think about what is that next phase of their American dream.
What we've seen in the past 12 months is that due to the ongoing uncertainty, that consumers and customers really look for the well-run companies and brands, because the trust that these brands deliver them are so crucial in financial matters.
The insight that I think is coming up for retail banking and financial services this year is being transparent is really a must-have. You know, we saw the movement that the 99% had and what an impact it had on social media and communities and proliferation of the voice of this consumer that had been buried. I think we were in a place where it was we had imperfect information as consumers about banks. There was a wall, there was a lack of transparency. And today, with all of their business practices open to scrutiny, we have perfect information. And because of that, banks have to respond by being totally transparent.
I think the big trend for financial services brands in this current year is going to be about restoring confidence and overcoming resentment through utility. It's going to be about adding value to consumers' lives instead of making money on money, which is where a lot of cultural resentment is coming from. It's going to be about more fair and transparent business behavior as it relates to consumers, stakeholders, merchants, as well as shareholders themselves.